Welcome back, learners. So, now let's move on to the most important part of this R programming. So, we had discussed in the previous sessions about the functions, how to create a function, how to call them, how to access them, all those stuffs. Fine. So, we have now one important question. We call it as the scope. Fine. What is this scope? I would say that scoping rules in R. So when I say scoping rules, so suppose now I create a function and I have some variables in my function. So what is this scope? So what value will be assigned to that particular variable? Based on what rule the value of the variable will be decided. So that we call it as the scoping rules we follow in R. So in case of the scoping rules in R, we call that R follows a lexical kind of scoping. So what is this lexical kind of scoping? So we have two kinds of scoping. We call it one to be lexical, the other one is dynamic. So lexical, we call it as static. Fine? Yes. So now before we move on to what is a lexical scoping, we will just see how the scope is being done in your R. Fine? In your R console. So generally, when I say in R console, I have various environments. So what is actually an environment? So an environment specifies the workspace in which a variable is created. So you have so many environments. How do I check what are the environments available in my R environment? I have one particular command which I call it as search. When I give this search, see you have got so many environments here. So by default, the environment in which a particular variable will be created is going to be this global environment. So this we call it as our workspace. So till now, till last session, whatever we created on this prompt, we call them as global environment. Fine. And there are few other packages. So you have statistics based packages, utilities, and so many stuffs. All these we will see in the forthcoming sessions. Now, if suppose you go for importing a package within your program, and then you are going to create a function, and you have declared some variables and you are using it inside that function. In that case, how the scope will be? So it will be like, first it will go within the environment where the function was created. Suppose you had gone for creating a package and then gone for using your function. So it will first search the value inside the environment where the function was created, and then it will reach the global environment first. If it suppose the variable is not having a value within the environment where the function was created, then the environment, the console, it will go and search in the global environment. Fine. If suppose global environment also doesn't have, then in this order, in the same order, it will go always the final environment in which your variable will be searched will be this base. Fine. Yes. If suppose the variable has not got any value in all these environments, only then it will throw you an error. Until then, it will not throw. It will check all the environments and it will proceed. Fine. Yes. So now when I say this function, so you can have a function with name f. Also you can have one R object with f. So this function is different, that R object is different. Suppose I create a vector with f, then that is different, and also you can create a function called as f. Fine, both are different. So this you can have in mind because both are going to have different environments. Fine, yes. So this is the base of your scoping rules in R. Now let's see an example with this function. Fine, so the scoping rules in function. So now suppose I say I'm going to create a function. I say func, okay, and I say function of, and I'm just saying some variables. I say maybe x comma y. Fine. Yes. And now I say I'm going to create u is equal to x multiplied by y plus some z. Okay. and I say the result is, and I give the value u as the output, fine, and I close my function. So in this function, so we had already seen function, so with that function let us see what is the scoping. Now I say this x and y to be formal arguments. Okay, this x and y are called as formal arguments. Whatever values, or I say whatever variables are directly given within the function, I call them as formal variables, or I say are formal arguments. Now we say formal variables. Now you have something here z. So this z is not declared within the function. Fine. So this z, we call it as a free variable. So this z is a free variable. And u is some variable which is created within a function, and the value is being updated within a function. Fine. So obviously what will be done is, when I say the scoping, now it will first check the value of x and y, whether it is available within the function. Fine, in the environment where the function is created. Okay, so it is the environment. So what is this environment? Suppose now I say environment. Environment is just a pair. You will have the variable followed by its value. So this will be stored in one particular place, that I call it as environment. Okay, now this z is a free variable. Scope always specifies, when I say scoping rules, the methodology used for assigning a value for a free variable decides the scoping rule of a language. Okay, so fine. So in our case, this free variable z, so this is not available in the function. It is not declared inside the function before using it. So what it will do, it will not directly throw an error. Okay, now let's see what happens with this particular function. Now I have not got the input for x, I have not got the input for y, I have not assigned any value for it, but I have created a function. Now let me check whether this executes. Now I say function of, and I directly say x comma y. Let's see whether we get the output. See, we are getting result is 15, but I didn't initialize any value for x and y. But then how we got this particular output? Let's see. Let me just print x. Let me also just print y. Yes, fine. So I have got 3 and 4. Let us print this z as well. See, z is also having a value 3, but we had not created this value in this function level. Then how is it taking the value instead of throwing an error? So this is called as lexical scoping. So now let's see. Now I say list ls. We know what is ls. It will display all the variables available in that particular environment in your workspace. Fine. Yes. Now you can see you have x, y, z is already created in your global environment, and also you have, see, and let me see what else is there. So you have one, all these variables are in your workspace, that is in your global environment. So what had happened is, though I had not initialized any value for this z here, it has gone searching it in your global environment. Fine. If there was a value for that particular free variable in the global environment, that value will be automatically taken and you will get the output. Fine. So this we call it as lexical scoping. So this is the base of your scoping rule in R. Yes. So we will move on to what is actually lexical scoping, why it is needed, and the complete details of lexical scoping in the forthcoming session. If you still have any doubts, you can very well contact me. Thank you.